Hello everybody, I'm Johan Biebe, Director of the Hydrogen Standard. I'm standing here today at Connecting Green Hydrogen in Madrid, organized by Leaders Associates. And with me is here today Eric Mehl from Resato. Welcome, Eric.
So Resato produces hydrogen refueling stations. We're Dutch-based. We're also an equipment manufacturer, which means that we design and we manufacture all of the critical components of the station. It's compressors, it's cooling modules, it's dispensers, and it's storage modules.
So it sounds like a comprehensive solution that you're offering clients, sort of the whole shebang, if I can call it that way, to get yourself started if you want a refueling station.
Yeah, shebang is an interesting word. We would say that it's a tool that we want to provide to station operators. Our objective is really to accelerate zero emission mobility, and we do that by providing a flawless refueling experience to drivers, which means quick refueling, which also means no incidents. And we give a business tool to station operators, which means that we focus on high uptime of the station and operating expenses, low operating expenses.
Low operating expenses, who doesn't want that? I reckon infrastructure is of course an important element that needs to be rolled out in the quite often referred to chicken and egg conundrum. How do you guys see sort of the momentum and the uptake at the moment, for example, maybe in Europe?
Well, there's a big uptake right now. I mean, there's about 250 stations in Europe today, but 120 of them went into operation last year alone. So there's a big project being pushed by the European Union to deploy 650 stations by 2030. So we think the momentum is there. And we could see on this event in Spain, Spain only has 8 stations today. There's a plan for 70 stations to be put into operation by 2030. So it's really accelerating, and we're trying to do our part to accelerate the adoption of zero emission mobility.
Fantastic. What do you think holds most promise in terms of like the end uses of the transport using hydrogen?
Well, we believe, first of all, we believe there's absolutely no competition between battery electric and hydrogen. We think it's a user case. Some cases will be more prone towards using battery electric, some will be more prone towards using hydrogen. We feel that there's definitely a need for communication between the vehicle manufacturers and the users. Of course, today, if we look at a truck, for example, a hydrogen truck is about 7 times the cost of a diesel truck. So there's a need for incentives. We see that the European Union is really moving forward to incentivize the production of those trucks so that they can be produced at scale, reduce cost, and then that's going to solve the chicken and the egg conundrum.
I mean, the sort of support from governments, the European Union being one of them, is also widely discussed in this event, and I think in general in the market. It seems to be present in multiple facets of the industry. Do you get the impression that is enough being done to support sort of the infrastructure uptake within Europe or within certain countries?
Well, we believe that there's certainly a lot of discussion and there's a lot of energy in the market. I mean, everybody wants to go to zero emission mobility. Everybody sees the advantage of it. No carbon emission. I mean, it's a dream, but it's also something that will make the industry move forward with creating jobs. There's bureaucracy involved. Obviously, certain countries have more bureaucracy than others. It's been an issue in the European Union for ages. If we look at the Inflation Reduction Acts in the US, very efficient, not only the objective but the process as well, and that of course is something that needs to be, the burden needs to be lowered in the European Union in order for people to be able to implement projects.
Finally then, sort of like making the shift to North America as you already did, also touching on the infrastructure element there, do you see sort of the same sort of momentum now also gathering pace or speed in the US or in North America compared to Europe?
Well, in North America you have about 70 stations in California alone. California has been at the forefront of the deployment of stations since the early 2010s, and they're continuing to grow. There's been only 11 stations added last year in the US compared to, again, 200 in Europe. So it's moving, but it's moving at a lower pace. Now, the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act in the US, is really going to promote and push the further deployment of the whole hydrogen value chain. So I believe it'll come to pace.
Excellent. Eric Mehl from Resato, thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you so much.